Son's name is Yahweh Shai. He's the deliverer because come to deliver us to this captivity that we're in. My name is Mark Oliver Ben Gab Ben Yasharala. Again, Church of Philadelphia, Cam here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Once again, come back at you with another one. As the title says, all right, UAP/Chariots, salvation of Israel's elect. The salvation of Israel's elect. All right, and the reason why I want to go into this topic real fast is because I woke up. I've been seeing a lot more. Well, NASA, whatever they been showing, they're talking about is these basically they're chariots, but they don't know what they are. But they're saying there's going to be an alien invasion, and they're monitoring the so-called outer space or whatever, right? So they're trying to see what's coming, how fast it's moving, you know. And they actually seen one chariot. It's a huge chariot. I believe told you about that in our second. That's about Yahweh Shai's chariot. And it just speaks about how huge it was, man. How huge it is. So one part was on the land, the other part was on the sea. I just saw that. But just real fast, just read this real quick and hop into the scriptures. But I want to touch on this. So it says, basically looked at information. I wanted to get the videos to show you, but I looked out, Googled it, information on the latest UAP sightings. It says recent UAP unidentified aerial phenomenal or UFO reports show a rise in sightings. So now they can't hide it anymore. So these people are getting frustrated, like, yo, what's going on? When they always, when they used to talk about flying saucers and all that back then, which is that's in the book of Ezekiel, I believe, first chapter. Ezekiel seeing the will inside the will, you know, and these devils know that, man. All right, so they put it in shows, and now they have to bring a thing about called Project Bluebeam, to try to fool you before the Lord gets here. All right, and what they want to try to fool you into doing, accepting that one world religion, that MOT to the B, and they're more and more their philosophies here now. All right, which this is the last captivity that we're ever going to be in. And that's why, things like you're going to start seeing a whole bunch of things. That's why technology is at an all-time high, and they're trying to mimic basically the same thing that happened in ancient Egypt. When Pharaoh had his what he had his sorcerers, all right, and Moses, it was Moses and Aaron, but Moses was working with on the right hand side with Yahweh Shem Shai, the Pharaoh's uh the Pharaoh's his musicians and sorcerers, they're working with the power on the left hand side. And why was they doing that? To try to basically to try to deter Moses and Aaron from what the Lord said, and try to make the other people see like, oh well, the Lord did this, well we could do this too. Right before salvation, right before we got delivered from ancient Egypt. So fast forward to this point, same thing. They're trying. That's why they got Project Bluebeam and all these other things, because they do know Yahweh Shah is coming back. They seeing these sightings. That's why they're monitoring. You got your what's that, Space Force? They got all those things because they know them people is well aware. So what they're gonna do is try to dumb you down. That's why they're taking all these measures, hitting you with these juices and everything, so they can hit the switch and dumb your mind down. Because they want full control over you. So once they hit that switch, dumb your mind down, you won't believe that shit. You know. That's why it says they if it was possible they would fool the very elect. All right, but anyway, let's just keep going. But it's just an interesting thing because now, like I said, technology increased and the sorceries of this place has increased. But on the right hand side, the power of Yahweh Shem Shah is waxing stronger and stronger, and they're waxing weaker and weaker. All right, check it out. It says recent UAP unidentified aerial phenomena or UFO reports show a rise in sightings, with lawmakers, according to the Slovakia, accusing the Pentagon of a lack of transparency and a UAP hearing addressing. So, all right, it says potential threats and a lack of information. All right, so these people are scared. It tells you that in what the book of Second Ezra's the 16th chapter. It tells you the power still stand in fear. All right, it tells about the war in heaven and um Revelations. You know, it talks about is this what else? It talks about that in Revelations. Also, it talks about it. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it's in Second Ezra, the 14th chapter. But I'm gonna try to grab these while as I'm thinking of it. But I want to read what I have right here on the screen. All right, so like I said, I googled it. So it says lawmakers accusing the Pentagon of lack of transparency and a UAP hearing addressing potential threats and lack of information. While many sightings remain unexplained, see that? Remain unexplained, officials from NASA state there is no evidence of extraterrestrial origins for UAPs, and some report sightings are often explained by commercial or military aircraft. So what they're doing, they're lying to the people. Furthermore, trying to dupe you. But it's undeniable that these vehicles exist because they've existed before Esau existed. You know why? How did they exist? Because Yahweh made them. All right. These people they're trying to dumb it down because they know that their kingdom is falling. This place is almost over, man. All right. It says recent developments, congressional hearings. A House Transparency Task Force recently held a hearing on UAPs with testimony from witnesses and accusations of insufficient information from the Pentagon. What they're trying to do is make these people that's coming out with these sightings and things like that, what they're seeing, and they're briefing them basically. They're interrogating them, want to know what they saw. All right, so they could try to spin them and twist them to make them not talk. But hey, at this point, it's already out there, Esau. The jig is up. All right, you're the devil. We know this, and the Lord is sending in reimbursements by these sightings. All right, it says reports indicate a sufficient increase in UAP sightings. See that an increase in UAP sightings, with one source noting over 700 reports made to the Pentagon in a single year. See that? New Pentagon website. The Pentagon launched a website to provide a central location for declassified photos and videos of UAPs, man. So they coming for these people, man. They want to silence them, man. Try to give them some money, like, oh, don't talk about this. But yo, it's nothing you could do, man. All right, it's nothing Esau could do. All right, but it says, let's read this right here. Uh, this is what they're trying to say. It says reasons for sightings. It says special launches, space launches, an increase of space launches from California's West Coast spaceport is a sufficient factor in the high number of observed aerial objects. That's crazy, man. So they trying to say that this is space junk, man. You know. Furthermore, disrespecting the Lord, man. All right, downplaying Him. It says adversary capabilities. It says some lawmakers suggest that sightings may be new capabilities developed by foreign adversaries. And what's that going into? It says the blue beam. So they're trying to cover up all this stuff because they know they don't want the people to panic. But hey, you can't stop what the Lord has. All right, you can't stop his prophecy. All right, you can't stop him from coming back with claiming was his. All right, but he lets you borrow. Okay, it says misidentification. Many UAPs are likely commercial aircraft, drones, or their shadows. And guess what? That's why the Lord has them designed where they move like this. And can't no plane and no military stuff do that, which they're trying to mirror that. Esau, your technology is garbage, man. You'll never be able to do that. Let's read this little bit else, and hop into the scriptures. It says key organizations involved. Now check it out. Pentagon's AARO, the All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, collects reports of UAPs, formerly known as UFOs. Why they changed the name? All right, because it's just a phenomenon to them. Right, that's something like a phenomenon. It's phenomenal to them to see these things, and that's why scriptures tell you, marvel not at the things in heaven, like the heathen do, man. It says NASA. It says NASA's independent panel also study UAPs, emphasizing a need for more scientific data and less stigmatization to understand them. It says Congress Congress says members of Congress such as Rep. Anna Paulina Luna are pushing for a greater transparency for the government on UAP incidents, man. They're not going to do that. But it says what to do. Now this is what they're telling you what to do. What to do if you see a UAP. Report it. You can report sightings to the Department of Defense. All domain and normally resolution office. They monitoring this place. It says document it, provide as much detail as possible, including time, location, and descriptions of the object and its behavior. These people is in there. They're in fear, man. They're on high alert, man. All right. So let's get this. I said, let's just read that article. It's the first scripture I want to bring up. Let me mention the all right, Salakia. And check this out. One realm against each other. KJV Apocrypha. I believe it's the second, like I said. Yep. So, I made a mistake, slip of the tongue. I said the second Ezra, the 14th chapter was actually second Ezra, the 13th chapter. And I'm going to bring it out. I'm going to get it in both. First, I'll read it in the NLT. Second Ezra 13. Bear with me. Phone sucks. Bear with me. Slacky. I want to hear everything but what I'm looking for. All right, hold on. Second Ezra. We're doing the second Ezra 13 and 31. Just bear with me. Trying to get this phone act right, but just bear with me. Baba Kwasha. Show you how it's about to go down. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is second Ezra, chapter 13 and verse 31. Might start up a little bit more. All right. Okay, here we go. All right, check it out. This is second Ezra. And this is just to explain, what these people are saying. It says the same. All right, all right, check this out. All right, this is second Ezra chapter 13. I'm gonna start at verse 26. It says the same is whom the Most High, the highest, had kept a great season, which by his own self shall deliver his creature. All right, now how is he going to deliver the creature? And he shall order them that are left behind. And whereas thou sawest, all right, check it out. It says, and whereas thou sawest, out of his mouth there came as a blast of wind and fire and storm. All right, that's talking about that concentrated heat. And that's why these people are in fear, because they know it's coming. All right, they know about the prophecies. They heard about them. They read about them. We've been telling about them in this lifetime. All right, so it's just no excuse, and that's why they're trying to lie to the people and try to hide and say, "Oh, they're UAPs, they're this, they're that." No, they're chariots. All right, they're chariots of the Lord, which the angels that sit on them that's dark skinned like us. They don't look like them damn big bug eyed green men or gray men that they pursue on television. All right. So that's even further more disrespect to the Lord, man. It says, and wherever it says, and wherever thou sawest that out of his mouth, there came as a blast of wind and fire and storm, and that he held neither sword nor any instrument of war. All right. It says, but the rushing in of him destroyed the whole multitude that came to subdue him. This is the interpretation. And yo, all right, that's what I'm talking about, the war in heaven. That's why I read the last part of that article said, if you see these UAPs, right, to report them, document them and monitor their movements, all right? Observe it. Like, yo, Esau is crazy. But the Lord has put that spirit on him, to make him fight and to do these things. You know goddamn well he can't win, you know, if he was in his right mind, but the Lord has him under the spirit, under this derision. But it says, behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth, which they was coming into that. It says, and he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. It says, and one shall undertake to fight against another. All right, that's what's happening right now. One city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. And what's a realm? All right, different. Like you got your spiritual realm, you have this realm. That's about to happen. That's what you're seeing. The spirit realm is about to manifest itself. That's why you're seeing more and more chariots. All right, you know, you're going to see them. Man, you're about to see a lot. All right, even with these demons manifesting themselves, man. All right, we're in them times right now where you expect the unexpected. Well, it's expected to a man that understands and has understanding, that knows the word. All right, but it says, and he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth, and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another. And this is going into World War III when they full and fledged with it. One people against another, and one realm against another. And the time shall, like it says, and the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall happen, which I shewed thee before, and then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. All right. And that's all, all everything right now you see with these UAPs. That's why I want to go into this topic, is ushering in Yahweh Shai, man. All the ones talking about, oh, what is this UAP and that UFO and this and that. That's ushering in Yahweh Shai, man. They know he's coming. That's why, like I said, they have that Blue Beam project, right? And they're going to try. Like I said, they're going to try to pull a fast one, basically, and try to make an event where it's an alien. Well, I did what they said, an alien invasion. When you look it up, an alien invasion to force you to take the MOT to the B and beg for the New World Order, man. All right, but if you do that, then you're an asshole. But let's get this real fast. Matter of fact, let's get that in the GNT. What's that? Second Ezra 13 and 31. Well, 26. Second Ezra is chapter 13, verse 26 to 31 in the GNT. And let's see what we get here. All right. What's this phone? I swear, man. CBA. Just bear with me real fast. Okay. GNT. SDRAS. Let's see what this says. All right, here we go. GNT. All right. So we were on what, verse 26. Hold on, bear with me real fast. Salakia. All right, so we back in second Ezra 13. Then we're gonna go to 26. This is the GNT. All right. All right, here we go. Second Ezra chapter 13 and 20. I'm gonna start at 25. All right. And the GNT, it says, this is the meaning of the vision. It says, the man you saw coming up out of the sea represents the one who God Most High has kept ready for many ages. He will free the world he created and establish the new order for those who survive. And see that? And that's what they're trying to do right now. They want a new world order. But the new order is what? Yahweh's kingdom, Yahweh's kingdom. All right. So it says, and who's going to survive? The elect, the 1/3. Then you're going to have these other nations that's not going to be completely destroyed because they're going right into slavery, man. All right. It says that new order is what? Israel going back into power. All right. It says, you saw the wind, fire, and storm going out of the man's mouth, and you saw that without the use of a spear or any other weapon, he destroyed the great crowd that was advancing to attack him. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to try to fight against the Lord, but they're going to be shitting their pants. But guess what? They don't have no choice but to do it because the Lord, like I said, the Lord's going to put the Spirit on them. All right, it says, this means that the war is near when God Most High will begin to free the people on earth. And who is that? Yasharala, starting with the elect of Israel. At that time, everyone will be close to panic. They will begin to make war against one another, city against city, region against region, nation against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. All right. It says, when that happens, the signs I told you about earlier will take place. And then I will reveal my son, whom you saw as a man coming out of the sea. It says, when they hear his voice, all the nations will leave their own territory, forget their wars with one another, right? And come together in one great crowd, too large to count. As you saw in your dream, the nations will unite with the single purpose of making war on the sun. See that? It's going into what? That war in heaven, man. And that's why they're talking about these UAPs so much, which we read about that in the beginning. All right. And so we're in the GNT in our second Ezra, the 13th chapter. But it says he will take his stand on the top of Mount Zion, and the New Jerusalem will be seen by everyone. Who's the New Jerusalem? Is going to what? Is elect. It will be complete by fully Salak, it will be completed and fully built, just as in your dream. You saw the mountain carved out, but not by human hands. And that's Yahweh's chariot, man. Come on, man. And that's what they saying. That's why these people was in terrible fear. That's why you get more and more and more UAP sightings. And now they're telling you to report them where you saw them at, what region, and observe them with their activity. You know, they probably Jake, so then they probably pay these niggas. You know, and that's like I said, that's the elect of the nation of Israel salvation, man. Those chariots, and they're coming to destroy this place, Babylon, and you know, and take the elect and bring them back and put them back down here on earth and put the rest of these nations in slavery, man. That's just plain and simple. All right. Um, what else? All right, here we go. Well, matter of fact, let's get this real quick since we was there because this is why they're uh so scared right now, and they want us off the streets. They want to stop our mouths. All right, this is Revelations chapter 12. And we're gonna start at verse 7. All right. They don't want to hear about the end of their rulership, you know. But they love to hear about us, our downfalls and things of that. They're slaves and this, that. You know, as long as that's being said, then you cool with Esau, man. You know, that's why the Lord has to come back. You know, because if like hey man, like I said, if there was if Yahweh Shah want to come back, there'll be no flesh left to save, man. All right, so here we go. Let's read this in. We want to go to the NLT. This is backing up Second Ezra, the 13th chapter, where we just read in the GNT. So let's read this in the NLT. Revelation chapter 12, verse 7. It says, "Then there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon," which that's NATO, the beast, all that interchangeable, EO, all that, and that's who's in rulership. Well, Esau's in rulership. But those nations are going to come together to fight against the land, which we just read in Second Ezra 13. All right, starting from 26 on down. All right, it says fought against the dragon and his angels, and those angels are the Esau's angels are those fighter jets and everything. That's will be the vehicles, and angels is like they bring back messages. They're messengers. So when they go over these places to gather intel, they send those fighter jets, like I said, which is their messages, and they send them back to headquarters or whatever. All right, the same thing with the UAPs, what they call them UAPs, but the Chariots of Yahweh Shem Shah. They do the same thing, going to and fro the earth, taking information, sending it back to Yahweh, Yahweh Shem Shah. All right, but verse 8 it says, "And the dragon lost the battle." See that? The battle's already won. It says, "And the dragon lost the battle, and his angels were forced out of heaven." And was forced out of heaven? Forced out of their state of rulership. All right. Also, physically being their jets and all that, their satellites and everything is going to be removed from the skies. They'll never be able to put them back up there again. All right. It's like you saw like a while ago with NASA with the video, and they had it was a chariot, man, that knocked one of their satellites completely out the sky, knocked it offline and everything, man. All right. It says, "This great dragon, the ancient serpent, called the devil or Satan, the one deceiving the whole world, was thrown down to the earth with all his angels." And see that? And the Christian church would teach that like this happened. This hasn't happened yet. All right. Because Esau's still deceiving the whole earth, man. And that back then at that time, he ain't deceived the whole earth to make him think that he was the most high and all that. No. So it's talking about the up and coming time. All right, which is in the very near future. All right, verse 10 it says, "Then I heard a loud voice shouting across the heavens, 'It has come at last, salvation and power, and the kingdom of our power, and the authority of his for the accuser of thy brothers, of our brothers and sisters, has been thrown down to the earth, the one who accuses them before the Most High day and night. And no, that's what they be doing, man. We're the accused, we're the blame for everything. And that's why the heavenly angels with Yahweh Shah is coming back to deliver, starting his elect, man. All right, the elect of the nation of the house of Israel, man. You know? So it says, and now see, like, check this out. It says, and after they have defeated him by the blood of the Lamb and by their testimony, and they did not love their lives so much. It's like it so much. They were afraid to die, man. So we don't love our lives, man. All right. But like I'm saying, you see these UAP sightings, and I'm not going to call them UAPs. They're chariots of Yasharala, man. They're the vehicles that the heavenly angels travel in. Okay, and they know it. And that's like we just read that. So that's what they're coming to do. All right, to make war with this place, to destroy it, to take it out. And that's why you're starting to see so many more sightings of you know, of all these things. All right, let's go here. Revelations. We're gonna stay in Revelation. Go to 1-7. All right. NLT. It says, look, he comes with the clouds of heaven. All right, these chariots, man. Going back into what? The first Exodus. Well, back in Moses' time when we got delivered, it says what? It was a cloud by day, fire by night. The goddess, so that what they call it, the North Star, that guided the wise men to Yahweh when he was in the manger. All right. This is what you're seeing. This is technology that's been around since the beginning of time. Esau knows this, but yet he's going to try to fool you, deceive you, because that's what he does. He's a deceiver. All right. And that's why we have the books and everything to go back through and to break it down and come tell our people, and the elect is going to be the ones to get it. The 1/3, the 2/3 not going to get it. Only the elect is going to get this message, man. All right. Revelations 1-7, it says, look, and this is the NLT. It says, look, he comes with the clouds of heaven, and everyone will see him, even those who pierced him. And that's going into what? Reincarnation, man. Everybody that was back then, when he was here, they hear it right now. They heard about the prophecies back then. And then when they hear it now, they're going, oh, shit, it's going to come back to the remembrance. We got to stop this. But you can't. It says, and everyone will see him, even those who pierced him, and all the nations of the world will mourn for him. Yes, so be it. Verse 8, it says, I am the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, says the Lord power. I am the one who is, who always was, and who is to come, the Almighty One. Damn. Yo, Carla, Shabashim, Kakadas, man. Because we're witnessing this, man. This is beautiful times to live, man. All right. And to have the understanding of it, because a lot of people about to bug out, man. A lot of people. It's like that whole that rapture thing. Now let them talk about that now, the rapture. That came and gone, man. So anybody talking that, and you know what? One beautiful thing, I gotta say this, man. I was talking to my mother, and not too long ago, and she's heavy and she's been in the church and everything like that. But I started making fun of that rapture thing and everything. And the funny part about it was she had got some the unleavened bread from the market for the pastor. It's not Pesach yet, but I just found that interesting. She was like, oh, I just got this to take my communion. I'm like, what? She was like, oh, I don't go to church anymore. I said, oh, snap. So that's a beautiful thing. So hey, this word is powerful. She says she doesn't go to church anymore, man. It's a lot of people that are going to fall out of these churches because the church is lied to them. But meanwhile, we've been telling the truth the whole time. One thing she did say was she was looking for another church, but I doubt that happens. It's the first time I heard my mother speak like that, saying she left the church. A lot of these people are leaving the church because now these things that the churches can't explain because they're going along with Esau's doctrine. We're saying going through the scriptures and telling you. All right, that's those UAPs that they call them, and they used to be called UFOs, unidentified flying objects. Why are they unidentified? You can identify them, all right? They're chariots. Esau knows what they are. So they call them unidentified because it's not of their technology. And they want you to believe, oh, well, this is technology from this nation. And it might be this nation and that. No, man. The nation that is from, yeah, it's a nation. All right, it's from Yasharal, the sons of God, man, the Israelites. All right, before we were sons of God before we were known as Israelites. All right, but it says, where we at? Psalms 68. Well, 68 and 13, forgive me. Reading the NLT. I got you, my God, see that scripture. It's Psalm 68 and 13. It says, even those who lived among the sheep, so it's like it says, even those who lived among the sheep foldings found treasures, doves, with wings of silver, and feathers of gold. The Almighty scattered the enemy king like like a blowing storm on a Mount Zalmon. The mountains of Bashan are majestic with many peaks stretching high into the sky. It says, why do you look with envy, O rugged mountains, at Mount Zion, where the Most High has chosen to live, where Yahweh Shem Yahushua himself will live forever, surrounded by unnumbered thousands of chariots. Yahweh Shem Yahushua came from Mount Sinai into his sanctuary. Y'all see that? That's what he said. Surrounded by innumerable thousands of chariots. That's talking about what they're calling those UAPs, man. All right. Same thing that came to Mount Sinai, same vehicle. Came to Mount Sinai, took Moses up to get the law, statutes, and commandments. All right. So my brother has up here Jeremiah chapter 7. I ain't gonna make this too much longer. Jeremiah chapter 7 and 29. Get this in the NLT as well. Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 29, it says, shave your head in mourning and weep alone on the mountains. For Yahweh has rejected and forsaken this generation that has provoked his fury. That's right, man. You know, they provoked his fury, and guess what? That's why these chariots is coming to destroy this place. And also, man, you know, we provoked his fury when we went off, man. Started whoring after different gods, man, serving them in different captivities. You know, that's why we was always born into different captivities, because we served other gods, man. That was one of the biggest pet peeves of the Lord, man. Not what was, it is. You know, it told you he's a jealous power. Thou shalt not have any other gods before me, man. He told you that. All right. So you want to go serving after him? Hey, be my guest, man. You know? But guess what? The Lord's about to come back and annihilate this place, lay it flat, man. You know? But let me see if this is the right one. All right, we mentioned this is ours. Let's see. Exodus. Check this one real quick. 31, 18. Now check. Here we go. What we just read. What was that? In Psalm 68 and 17, right? Now, we did mention Mount Sinai, where that ship came and landed right there and took Moses up into it to give the law, statutes, and commandments. This is Exodus 31 to 18. It says, when Yahweh finished speaking with Moses on Mount Sinai, he gave him the 2 tablets, inscribed with the terms of the covenant, written by the finger of the Most High. See that? And when he's finished speaking on Mount Sinai, he's talking about he's on the chariot, man. All right, he got the tablets. Law, statutes, commandments was to take it to Israel, man. Written by the hand of the Most High himself, man. The power. All right. To give to us. That's more proof. And like the chariots, even when you go to ancient Egypt, right? I believe they show pictures of chariots in the matter of fact, let's see if we can find it real quick. Let's find a picture. They show you pictures of chariots in the what's that? In the bottom, like what they say, hieroglyphics and stuff like that. Were there pictures of UFOs in the bottom of the pyramids? Let's see this. All right. Hold on. Here we go. Hold on. Let's answer this one. Did they find pictures of UFOs on the walls and the bottom of the pyramids? I'm getting tongue tied. Now, see, now they gonna lie. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. I said no. All right. This now it's going into this saying how the pyramids supposedly were built by aliens. All this bull crap. Whatever you want to technically say that they were built by aliens, well, yeah, they were. They were built by the Israelites. We're alienated people from them. We're not those people. We're not the Egyptians. All right, yeah, so we're aliens to them. All right. Uh it's not showing. I'm gonna have to find hold it. Is it really hold on. Let's see if I might have said it wrong. Let's see this real quick. Uh do this one. Show me pictures of UFOs on the walls of the Peter. And yo, that'll also let you know, with people. So this is garbage. Like, let's see. Hold up, that one might be all right. I'm not sure. Ancient art. Okay, here we go. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Now we're talking. Now look at this. All right. Let's see if we get a better. I don't know if you can see it too well. All right. Let me try that way. Now, this is how you know, man. All right. You had the Israelites. We slaves. All right. Now look at this. This is supposed to be a writing on the walls of the the pyramids, right? I see that. See the Israelite. Now look. See that shape, that image right there? Chariot, man. They know very well, and these was written of in the book of Ezekiel. All right. Furthermore, proving that these people know. Let's see something here. See this. It says ancient image. They keep calling them aliens, man. But these are well. They're going to keep doing this BS, man. Of course, but let's try this one. This is another one, right? Here we go. Here we go. Now you got these vehicles here, and this is on the wall in ancient Egypt. I saw it before, but look at these vehicles that they have. All right, you see that? And some of them look like chariots. All right, you looking at them, and this was in ancient Egypt, so they know about them. You know, they know about the chariots back then. All right, let's see this right here. Let's go. And this is documentation, man. So you can't make this stuff up. This is actual documentation inside of these pyramids that was written on the walls. Like they say, it's written on the walls. But of course, when you're looking through this stuff, you got to filter out and take the meat from the bones with these people because let's see this right here. Let's see if this is another one. That's pretty a good one. Oh, yo, cut. Here we go. Here you go. Look at this one. Now you got the sun, you got chariots and all that stuff, man. Look at this. All right, you can't make this stuff up. Israel, Esau sought these things out. Okay. Let me see if I find one more before. This is all information. I mean, you can look it up for yourself, and see it. But it's not. There's no denying. And then furthermore, it's in the scriptures, man. Matter of fact, let's go here. And you see it look like a robe, like a little saucer type thing. Let's go to Zechariah 5. And Zechariah 5 and 1. All the prophets know about these chariots, man. Yo, who was it? Enoch got pulled up in one. Elijah the prophet got beamed up in one. Yahweh Shah, of course, got beamed up in the chariot, man. So this is documents of all these things. All right. So, hey man, you believe Esau if you wanna get you gonna be asked out. I go fat bitch in the bikini. Saying, this is Zechariah 5 and 1, and I'll read this in the NLT. Now check this out. I looked up again and I saw a scroll flying through the air. I looked up again and I saw a scroll flying through the air. Now you look at that picture again, right? Because some of them, when they look, it's the shapes of them. Even like on the pictures I've been watching. This is why I'm doing this lesson today, because I've been seeing like a lot of videos. I posted them on my Instagram, but it's a lot of videos on these UAPs, man, and they to the T, right? What is explaining what the prophet saw. Check it out, Zechariah 5 and 1. Again, this is in the NLT. It says, I looked up again and saw a scroll flying through the air. What do you see? The angel asked. I see a flying scroll. I replied, it appears to be about 30 feet long. Damn. And 15 feet wide. So he's giving the measurements of it. Then he said, yo, and when you see those videos, I gotta figure out how to do this, put it on here. So I could show you the video while I'm actually doing the video, As I don't got it on this phone, but it's just matter of fact, you know what? Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up though. Give me 1 second. It says, then he said to me, the scroll contains the curse. See that? The scroll contains the curse that is going out over the entire land. One side of the scroll says, Salakia, one side of the scroll says that those who still will be banished from the land. The other side says that those who swear falsely will be banished from the land. So this is coming to destroy, man. that's the curse. Those chariots is going to be a curse to this place. They're a curse to this place and a blessing to the elect of the nation of Israel, man. All right. The rest it's a curse to them, man. All right. It says, and this is what Yahweh Shah of Heaven's army says. I am sending this curse into the house of every thief and into the house of everyone who swears falsely using my name. And my curse will remain in that house and completely destroy it, even the timbers and stones. God damn. And yo, it's a video too, man. When it talks about how that when the chariots spit that blast out, and it shows you shows you something like that on Independence Day. A lot of brothers like to reference that movie, but it's an actual video where you see. I think it's an army video. All right, they shot off an actual missile. Now you see a chariot coming, right? Came, float on top of the missile. It shot that concentrated heat, and I don't know what it's doing, but it shot that this way on one side of in the warhead of this missile. Went on the other side of it, shot that heat on that side. Guess it gave us coordinates, whatever, but you clearly saw it, and that missile went in and did whatever, So you see, man, everything that we tell you is the truth, man. The true men of the Lord, not these different false prophets. I mean, that's why they got them set up, man. I think I'm gonna stop right there. So I got a whole bunch of scriptures on chariots. Like, you can just go in and then on these chariots. But matter of fact, I want to say, show me a video of the UFO. Damn, Hold on, Slack it, bear with me. So what was it? Some video of UFO. I think it's this one. Show me videos of the UFO knocking down a rocket. I think this is it. Let's see. Hold on. People, this is for reaction to second video. I think this is one of them.
A close encounter on Capitol Hill with Representative Eric Burleson showing some whistleblower video during a hearing about UFOs. It seems to show a U.S. military drone shooting a missile at an unidentified object just off the coast of Yemen last year. But as CBS News senior national security correspondent Charlie Daggett reports, the aerial mission did not go as planned.
The newly released video captured by a U.S. Reaper drone shows a glowing orb off the coast of Yemen. Suddenly, on the left side of your screen, you see a Hellfire missile zip in, strike that unidentified object, and bounce right off it. When we slow the video down, you see the Hellfire missile continue to travel on its path, that trajectory becoming clearer from this zoomed-out angle. Not shown is a second Reaper drone that launched the missile. Congressman Eric Burleson shared the video at a House Oversight Committee on what the military calls unidentified aerial phenomena, better known as UFOs.
That's a Hellfire missile smacking into that UFO and just bounced right off. And it kept going.
It kept going, and it looks like the debris was taken with it.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
We've never seen a Hellfire missile hit a target and bounce off.
Luke Elizondo is a former senior intelligence officer with the Pentagon.
The Hellfire makes a hit, a kinetic strike on something solid. There's usually not much left of whatever it is it's hitting. It's very, very destructive. What seems to happen is that the missile is either redirected or in some case perhaps glances off the object and continues on its way.
A recent government report revealed the government received more than 750 new UAP sightings in the 2024 fiscal year, leaving lawmakers digging into the mystery and national security concerns posed by these objects.
Does this video scare you guys? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Me too. There's a lot of information that's not in that video, like what mission they were on, and as they said, what are we even looking at here? We do know that the U.S. military was conducting airstrikes against Houthi targets at the time. Pentagon officials tell CBS News.
Make it make sense.
No comment. Charlie Daggett, CBS News, Washington.
Hey, no, there's not this. Matter of fact, watch this. Hey, go, you heard what they said. Oh, they like, are you scared? I'm scared. Man. That scares me too. Oh, shit. Hold up, Slack it. Yo, hold on, bear with me, forgive me. Cause these dudes is crazy, but god damn, yo, cut, see? They said a hellfire. Now they talk about the hellfire, right? We in hell now. But yo, that John couldn't even, like, come on, man. Esau, you got no wins, man. You in division. Check it out. It says this second Ezra. Chapter 16, verse 18, it says the beginning of sorrows, and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers. See, this is the point. And the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come, man? Come, man. Hey, man, yo, Esau. There's nothing you can do, man, and we proving it, showing you. And I'm glad, matter of fact, yo, the while y'all about to outside, I see my crocodiles. I forgot I had to look up videos on this phone. So yeah, man. So right there, man, basically, Sid brought out the scriptures, read, the article in the beginning, and be aware because they're going to try to fool the very elect, man, if it was so. Matter of fact, let's get that real fast. This is Matthew. Hey, Shalom, boy. Y'all some Shabbat. This is Matthew chapter. Where we at? Cause I'm saying through that Project Blueprint, a lot of people gonna be deceived, man. That's what it's about. That's Esau's job, to be the goddamn deceiver, man, and the damn waster. That's what he is, man. All right, it's Matthew 24 and 24, if I'm not mistaken. Let me read this in the NLT as well. So I really like that NLT. All right, so this is Matthew chapter 24, verse 24. It says, for false messiahs and false prophets will arise and perform great signs. See that? That Project Bluebeam bullshit. Great signs and wonders, so as to deceive, if possible, even the Most High's chosen ones. All right, but you go into, matter of fact, let's grab that in the KJV to tell you it's elect, but the chosen ones are the elect, man. Chosen ones are the nation of Israel. All right, so this is Matthew 24, 24 in the KJV. For there shall arise false Mashiachs and false prophets, and shall shew great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they should deceive the very elect, man. All right, so these people, they don't even dig it, man. Anyway, Lord's willing, this is edifying. You got something out of it, Hey, man, just pray, keep praying, fasting, trusting in the Lord, man. This is almost over. Don't be deceived. All right, scriptures tell you, be not deceived that no man takes your crown. All right, so with that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Arachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of great millstones, taught us the truth. Honor salutations to the elect. To the next lesson, I'm saying my waffle Bible ball and Kwame Yasharala. Shalom. Stay strong, y'all.